Here are my exam tips for the storage module. The most important thing I can recommend is be sure to read the AWS Storage Options white paper and note the anti-patterns in that particular paper. You really need a solid understanding of when to use various data stores. For instance, when the question asks for an OLTP or ACID compliant data store, then RDS is your answer. If it talks about storing blobs, then S3 is the best choice. And if it mentions something about needing complete control over the database, then that should lead you to the EC2 option. Now, in each chapter, I've assembled some resources for further study, and they come in two flavors: AWS white papers and reInvent videos. Now, the white papers are absolutely required. There will be questions on the exam and in my quizzes and in the exam simulator that come straight out of the white papers. So you really want to read those. The reInvent videos are optional, but they're recommended for maximum badassery. The reason I recommend that you watch those reInvent videos is a lot of times the speakers will use case studies and they'll talk about real-world examples of stuff that maybe applies directly to what you're trying to do. So it's definitely a good learning tool to hear about how other people solve problems. But if you're short on time, you can probably safely skip them in the context of the exam. The exam won't have questions that'll be sourced from reInvent videos. Rather, question material will come from white papers, documentation, and best practices. The resources are going to be off on the left-hand side if you happen to be watching this in a browser. Or if you happen to be watching this content on a mobile device, they'll be down below in portrait mode. Now, we update these links every so often as AWS has new versions of white papers or they publish new videos. So always be sure to use the hyperlinks here.